Hi, Mark Rivera from Board Games and Blighty and the UK Gaming Media Network. There we go, it'll be all right. We got Stephen again from Coiled Spring Games to tell us about Flip Out from Gamewright.
Okay, Flip Out is a family game designed for 2 to 5 players from the age of 7 or 8 upwards. Okay, it's a strategy game, but it's again incredibly simple, and Gamewright are all about family games that are easy to learn. So, Flip Out has 5 stands which you fit in the box like this, and each player has a stand, and this is designed to hold 6 cards. Okay, so the aim of the game is to basically collect and acquire cards with the same pattern on them, the same colour.
Set collection.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a collection game. So basically, each player has their stand, and they have their stand in front of them, so that the opponents can't see one side of the card. Now, if I just show you some of the cards are double-sided. They're all brightly coloured, but they've also got a uniform pattern for that colour as well. So if anybody has a difficulty with colour identification, then they can identify the colours by the fact that each colour has a different type of pattern. So as you can see, the blue one's like that, green one's like that, etc. So one of the interesting aspects of this game is that the cards are double-sided. So you're looking at the front of a card, and I'm looking at the back. You don't know what I can see, and I don't know what you can see. So you start the game by basically, having shuffled the cards, you simply take it in turns to place a card, starting on the right-hand end. So I don't know how easy it is to see. So they're numbered 1 to 6. Yeah. So you take it in turns to take a card and place it in your rack. Okay. So again, now you'll go. Sorry. And you do this until you've got 6 cards in your rack. Again, if there were 2 of you, you'd be sitting opposite you, 4 of you, etc., up to 5 players. So it would be very easy to see what the opponent has, but they wouldn't be able to see the back of your cards. So if we just quickly fill the stands, just so that we can show you. Okay, that's fine, you take that one. So, that's what I can see, that's my side of the cards, and that's what Mark can see. Okay? And then basically you take it in turns. And what you're doing is you're looking to do 2 actions on your turn. And there are 6 different choices to take. The first thing that you can do is to flip. And that means taking one of your cards and simply turning it over. If you think that your opponent is wanting to acquire that image, you might flip it over to change the dynamics of the game. So that's option 1. Option 2 is to switch. And that involves swapping 2 of your cards' positions. Because the aim of the game is to remove cards from your board when you have 4 or more. So 4, 5 or 6 cards in a row facing you with the same pattern. You then sweep them off and they're yours. And the idea of the game is you're procuring as many cards throughout the game as you can.
Is there more points for the larger amount?
No, well, every point is worth 1 card. So at the end of the game, the more you've acquired, the more points you've got. But it's just who's got the most cards at the end of the game. So you've got the option to turn a card over. You've got the option to switch 2 positions of cards to get them next to each other, ready to sweep them off. You can do both of those moves on your own or your opponent's cards. So I could flip one of your cards over if I thought it might help me, or I could swap 2 of your cards over if I thought it would help. Option 3 is to swap a card with your opponent, and the cards remain the same way round they were. So I might want, for example, to swap that card with that card. I still don't know what was on that side, and I still don't know what was on that side, and vice versa. Option 4 is to do the same thing, but with 2 cards. So let's say I swapped 2 cards, like that. So that's 4 of the options. And then the other 2 options is to score, which is where you then say, I've got 4 of a kind facing me, I'll sweep them off. Or to swipe, which is to steal them from your opponents because they're in a row. So if we look here, Mark has actually now got to a point where, as far as Mark's concerned, there's nothing going on at the moment. But for me, I could say, right, I'm going to swipe those 5 because they're all the same. I'll have those.
So would I be able to, is it against the rules to be able to look at what's
you mustn't see what's on the opposite side. As always, you can see the front of all of your opponent's cards and the back of yours. So what you're looking at is different from what I'm looking at. So that's it. So you have six options, and you do 2 of them in your go. So you do a swat, you do a flip, a switch, a swap, a 2-card swap, or you take some of your cards off because you've got 4 in a row or more, or a swipe, which is doing what I just did to you, taking 5. Then you would replace your cards, and it would become your go. So what you're thinking about all the time is, can I bring cards over from my opponent so that I end up with 4 or more the same, or can I readjust my order? One of the things you have to remember is, if for example I flipped a card for my first go, and let's say I then swapped a card with you to give me 4 of the same, that's my 2 manoeuvres over. So now I can't swipe them off till next go, by which time you'll have probably damaged it and changed it and moved it around. When a set of cards is removed, that player then refills so you would now refill your deck, etc. The game goes on until there aren't enough cards left in here to refill. So when somebody, say, takes 4 off and there's only 3 left on the table, the game is finished. And then all you do is each player counts up how many cards they've acquired, and the one who's acquired the most is the winner. Okay? So obviously very different between 2 players and, say, 5 players, but very clever game.
Okay, this is very good quality cards. This is the kind of cards we like.
Yeah, these are poker standard almost. I mean, they're plastic coated.
Gamewright does well.
Yeah.
The quality of their games is very robust. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So age for this
Kind of 8-year-olds, I would say, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, you can play it with
it's a little
young.
thinky, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I mean, youngsters could play it because they got colours and patterns, but to get into the strategy of the game, maybe 8-year-olds and above. And as I say, you get 5 sets of stands to put together, so you can play with up to 5 players. And the rules, just so you can see them, there's a very little sort of brief description at the start there, and then you've got a very good simple guide as the 6 moves. So you flip, you switch, you swap, you swipe. It's all on there. That's all you need to know about this game to play it.
I tell you what, folks, this is not just a kid's game. I think this will be challenging for adults as well. I absolutely think so.
I think it is too. Absolutely. And it's available in the UK at the end of this month. Again, through all the retailers that we distribute to, and you can find them on www.coiledspring.co.uk to see your local one, both online and bricks and mortar retailers.
Okay, Stephen, thanks for coming along. Okay, Mark Rivera, UK Gaming Media Network, live from